Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped, here for the very first waiver wire episode of 2025. Yes guys, this is the week 14 waiver wire episode, and I want to wish every single one of you guys a happy and healthy new year. I honestly hope you had a fantastic new year celebration, and I hope that 2025 is the best year of all your lives. One way to help you make the year great is by taking home that fantasy hockey championship. And I'm here every single week to help you do just that. Before we jump into my content, guys, if you've been watching me all season, or even if this is your first time watching, definitely be sure to hit a like on the video and hit that subscribe button, because it does mean a lot to me, and I promise you I won't let you down with the fantasy hockey ads every single week. Also, please consider taking that support to the next level, either hitting that join button on YouTube, or if you want some extra perks, going down in the description below, checking out my Patreon. There's some perks there, like being able to DM with me one-on-one if you have any kind of question regarding fantasy hockey, and getting early access videos. Those are just some of the perks that I offer. Okay, let's jump into the content now, guys, and let's take a look at the schedule for week 14. And on Monday, there are 4 games. Tuesday, there are 10. Wednesday, 4 again. Thursday, 10 games once again, Friday 5, Saturday 12, and Sunday 5. So yes, the off days are as usual, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. However, the busy nights aren't quite that busy. You probably have room on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday in your lineup. Go check and make sure, but there's a good chance that you might have room on those days. They're not the busiest days in the entire world. Saturday, you're probably full, but Tuesday and Thursday, you may be able to add players. So off nights aren't overly important, but still, it's important to know which days you actually have room in your lineup, so definitely go and check that and make ads based on that. Now, who has the best schedule? Well, Vancouver and Washington both play 4 games and have 3 off nights. Carolina, Colorado, and Seattle all play 4 games and play on 2 off nights. And then Anaheim, Dallas, Minnesota, Ottawa, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, and Vegas all play 4 games as well, which is really great. Nashville and New York Islanders unfortunately have a bad schedule this week with only 2 games apiece, and the 2 games that both teams play are on busy nights, Tuesday and Saturday for Nashville and Thursday and Saturday for the Islanders. So really not the best schedule here, so I'm not going to be recommending any Nashville or Islanders players this week. Jumping into some forwards that you can consider streaming, guys, and the first guy on the list is Macklin Celebrini, and he has been absolutely insane on the top line and top power play in San Jose, scoring points left and right. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked that he's not over 70% owned, that I can still include him on this list. If you're in a shallow league and he's available, absolutely add him. Gabe Vilardi has been exploding as of late too, guys, and you guys know that when Gabe Vilardi is hot, you need him on your team. Top line, top power play in Winnipeg, it's a no-brainer. Rickard Rakell is another guy who needs to be owned in like 80% of leagues at this point. I don't know why he's still available in so many leagues. He's a top 40 player in a lot of league formats right now. He's got triple eligibility, so he can slot in pretty much anywhere you need him. And he's playing top line and top power play with Sidney Crosby. What more do I need to say? Tom Wilson, someone who's also a top 50 player in a lot of leagues. As long as you have hits in your league, this dude has been insane. Even if you don't have hits in your league, he's been pretty good this year. He's scoring plenty of points, getting decent deployment, and if you do have hits, I mean, come on. Easy ad for this week, where Washington has the off nights. Arturi Lekkonen's an excellent ad as well. Top line, not currently top power play, but that definitely can change in Colorado, putting up points with McKinnon and Rantanen. And on a week where Colorado plays 3 games in the first 4 days of the week, that's definitely a solid stream, even if you're just streaming him. Jake DeBrusk is another very good ad right now in Vancouver. He's playing on the top line and top power play, and Vancouver has pretty much the best schedule out of any team this week. Very good ad. Sean Monahan has been insane lately. Top line, top power play. Has been super fantasy viable all year, so definitely a good ad if you have room for a center. John Huberdeau, the Calgary Flames, is actually still hot. I've had him on this list for like 2 or 3 weeks now, and it's nice to see him actually consistently producing. I hope that it continues. I'm not overly optimistic, but as long as it's continuing, guys, definitely a viable fantasy ad. Dylan Holloway's playing on the second line right now with Braden Shen in St. Louis, and is continuing to put up points. Like him right now. JJ Peterka has gone dry for a couple of games straight, but before that he had like a 6 or 7 game point streak, and he is getting top power play time in Buffalo, so I'm not overly worried about him. I like him a lot. Dmitry Voronkov is absolutely white hot right now in Columbus. He's kind of like a Gabriel Velarde 2.0. When he's cold, oh my god, you just want to drop him. But when he's hot, he's the best player on your team. Alexei Protas of the Washington Capitals is getting very good deployment and is up to 15 goals on the season now. And on a week where Washington has a very favorable schedule, Protas is a no-brainer add. Same with Jonathan Drouin, playing on the second line and top power play in Colorado. Came back, and in his first game back, scored a goal and an assist. He's someone who is He's someone that's an easy no-brainer add on a week where Colorado has the off nights. Jason Zucker is playing on the top power play in Buffalo and has been putting up a lot of points as of late. I don't mind that ad. He's available in 88% of leagues. Victor Olofsson is playing on the top power play in Vegas. He's always been a power play specialist, and he is playing there, so he's definitely a solid ad, available in 89% of leagues. Jack Roslovic is playing left wing on the top line in Carolina. He's been scoring a lot of goals and points lately, available in 91% of leagues. As long as he's hot, why not? And Carolina does have a favorable schedule this week. Jake Evans of the Montreal Canadiens is actually playing third or fourth line, whatever you want to call his line, but he is red hot. It is a contract year for him, so he's very, very motivated, scoring lots of goals. I'm not sure how long this current streak is going to last, but I definitely don't absolutely hate the ad if you are in a deep league. Morgan Geeky's playing left wing on the top line in Boston with David Pastrnak and Pavel Zacha, and he's been putting up some points as well. So if you need someone to potentially get you some points, hey, a guy who's available in 95% of leagues, that's not so bad in Morgan Geeky. Jack Quinn, someone who I love a lot right now as well, had I think 6 points in 3 games, and he is playing top power play now, so kind of cool to see him getting that deployment. Let's see what he can do. Kirby Dach of the Montreal Canadiens is someone who's getting good deployment with Patrick Laine. He isn't top power play, but over the past few games, he's been scoring points. So let's see if he can keep that up. On defense, Aaron Ekblad, top power play on Florida, one of the best teams in the league. That's a no-brainer. He's been scoring plenty of points. Drew Doughty of the Los Angeles Kings should be coming back from his injury soon, and once he does, he's going to be on the top power play. So if you do have room on an IR spot, add him, stash him. That's going to be a great ad for you. Lane Hudson, top power play Montreal. Yeah, he hasn't had points in 3 consecutive games, but he is in the action. He's going to keep scoring points, guys. He is a no-brainer defenseman you want on your team. Jacob Trouba, Anaheim Ducks, great floor all year ever since being traded to Anaheim. Honestly, lots of blocks. The hits and the shots are there as well. So even though he's not scoring a lot of points, your floor is pretty great every single night. Cam Fowler, after I included him on this list last week at only 6% owned, exploded. 30% of people added Cam Fowler. Now, I don't think he's going to be quite as hot as he has been lately, but he is top power play, and the opportunities are there for Cam Fowler. Jackson Lacombe is the top power play guy in Anaheim, so he's definitely not a bad ad. Matt Grzelcyk is the top power play defenseman in Pittsburgh. Erik Karlsson is actually on PP2, and Letang is injured currently, so the only risk with Grzelcyk is that he doesn't really have any floor at all. So if he doesn't score you a point, he's not doing much, but he has actually been scoring a lot of points. Ty Smith is the top power play guy right now in Carolina due to an injury to Shane Gostisbehere, and already scored a power play point. So I don't absolutely hate that ad, and he's available in 98% of leagues. Mason Lohrei is the top power play guy in Boston. He's available in 98% of leagues. He's not doing too bad either. And Erik Brannstrom is now the top power play guy in Vancouver because Quinn Hughes is week to week with an injury. Quite a bit of injuries here, allowing for guys on this list to be fantasy viable, and it's nice for those guys. Brannstrom has a favorable schedule this week too with Vancouver's off night, so definitely someone who's worth taking a shot on. In terms of goalies, Montembeault is 68% owned and has been really solid lately. The Montreal Canadiens have been very, very good as of late. Wolf and Vladar are splitting starts in Calgary. Both are fantasy viable. Kirill Vejmelka is the guy in Utah, has been really great with Ingram out. Ingram is now in the AHL on a conditioning stint, but even when he comes back, I can't imagine he's going to get that many starts, maybe 50% at best. Ingram was not good at the beginning of the year, so if he plays like that, Vejmelka is going to continue to get plenty of starts. Lucas Dostal of the Anaheim Ducks and John Gibson are splitting starts in Anaheim. That should be about 50-50 until if Gibson gets traded. Charlie Lindgren is going to get half the starts in Washington. Literally every second start you can just put him in for. Jonathan Quick is the starter right now in New York just because Shesterkin's injured. So as long as Shesterkin's out, Quick is a viable option, although New York has been awful. Elvis Merzlikins of the Columbus Blue Jackets is a starter in Columbus, has been much better as of late. Yaroslav Askarov is the starter in San Jose, although he is splitting the starts 50-50 with Georgiev. Alex Lyon has started 2 games in a row for Detroit and has looked pretty good, so as of right now, he's probably the guy. Philip Grubauer is the guy in Seattle with Joey Daccord injured. Then you got Anton Forsberg, who we don't actually have written here, but is someone that you want to look at because Ullmark is injured, and now he's finally back, so instead of playing 3rd and 4th strings, Anton Forsberg should be the starter in Ottawa. Arvid Soderblom is actually the guy getting more starts right now in Chicago with Mrazek struggling, so he's splitting right now with Mrazek 50-50, and he's not the worst ad in the world if you're in a super deep points-based leagues. And finally, Alexei Kolosov is the starter in Philadelphia with Urson injured once again. That dude cannot seem to stay healthy, and Kolosov is the guy who has been playing better than Fedotov so far this year, and he's been getting the starts. And that's it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped. Happy New Year, everybody.